The stars stretched endlessly across the black sky. The Virelian fleet moved silently, gliding through the void of space like a river of living metal. Commander Zarek sat in the bridge of the lead ship, the Saren's Edge, his many eyes scanning the holographic display before him. The sector they were entering had been marked as abandoned in all galactic charts. No life signals, no traffic, no communications. It was as if this part of the galaxy had simply disappeared from existence. "Commander, sensors detect multiple large objects drifting in this sector," said Lyra, his second-in-command, her voice calm but curious. "They look like ships, but they are inactive. Some are heavily damaged." Zarek leaned forward, tilting his head. "Are they alien in design?" "They are human, Commander," Lyra replied. "Their technology is old, very old. I have never seen anything like this." Humans, the name alone carried stories. The Virelians had heard tales of humanity's long-extinct fleets. They were considered a minor race, incapable of controlling even a small cluster of star systems. Yet here were their remnants, floating silently in a sector no one dared approach. Zarek studied the display. There were hundreds of wrecks, ranging from small frigates to massive battleships. Some were broken into pieces. Others were still intact but clearly non-functional. The sight made even seasoned Virelian officers uneasy. "Set a course through the debris field," Zarek ordered. "I want a closer look. Carefully, I do not want to lose any ships to unknown hazards." As the fleet advanced, the debris grew denser. Massive hulls drifted slowly, their surfaces scarred with burn marks and holes that went deep into the core. Zarek felt a shiver run through him. Space was quiet, but it carried an unspoken warning. These ships had fought. They had fought hard, and they had not returned. Far from this sector, on the edge of human-controlled space, Captain Ethan Blake prepared his ship for a very different kind of mission. The human exploration vessel Ardent Horizon sat in Earth's orbital docks, gleaming in the sunlight. Ethan moved through the ship's narrow corridors, checking every console, every system, every crew station. Lieutenant Kate Miller, the communications officer, walked beside him. "Captain, all systems report ready. Sensors are operational, engines green, life support stable." "Good," Ethan said. He paused, looking out of the viewport at the stars beyond. "We've got a lot to discover out there, Kate. Something strange has been detected near the outer rim. Signals, disturbances, and no one has come back to report on them." Kate's brow furrowed. "Do you think it's dangerous?" Ethan smiled faintly. "Danger is part of exploration. That's how we learn, that's how we survive." At the same time, engineer Jason Cole checked the warp drive. "Everything is within operational parameters. Ready to go when you give the order, Captain." Pilot Liam Scott leaned back in his chair, adjusting his controls. "I just hope whatever's out there isn't too aggressive." "I don't feel like dodging unknown weapons today," Ethan chuckled. "That's why you're the pilot, Liam. Let's get ready." Meanwhile, in the Virelian fleet, strange things began to happen. As the alien ships moved deeper into the human sector, sensors picked up faint energy fluctuations. Small pulses, almost like signals, seemed to emanate from some of the derelict vessels. Zarek frowned. "Scan those fluctuations," he ordered. "I want to know what they are." The scans revealed nothing conventional. No active engines, no communication arrays, no life signs. Yet the energy readings suggested that these ships were not entirely dead. Some kind of latent power remained, lingering like a heartbeat in the darkness. "Commander," Lyra said, her voice tense, "I recommend caution. These ships may be dangerous." Zarek's claws tapped the console. "I want to know what killed the humans. I want to know why no one returned from this sector. Proceed, but be careful." Back on Earth, Ethan's crew began their journey. The Ardent Horizon left the orbital station, moving into deep space toward the mysterious signals. They passed through asteroid fields and empty systems, noting every strange anomaly. On the way, their sensors picked up fragments of old ships. Some were human, others were unknown, possibly alien vessels destroyed decades ago. "Captain, sensors detect a massive structure ahead," Kate said. "It appears to be a station of some kind, partially destroyed." Ethan studied the readout. "Bring us closer. I want to see if there are any survivors or at least logs. Maybe it can tell us what happened here." The station was enormous, half of it floating in fragments, the other half strangely intact. Jason checked the systems. "No life signs, Captain, but I'm picking up old data logs. Power sources still functional in small bursts. We might be able to access them." Ethan nodded. "Do it. Let's see what story this place holds." The Virelians, moving cautiously, had spotted the human station as well. From a distance, they noted its size and complexity. It was massive, far beyond what they expected a supposedly primitive human fleet to build. "Commander, the station is armed," Lyra warned. "I detect weapon systems, but they are inactive." "Still, it is dangerous to assume they are safe." Zarek's many eyes narrowed. "These humans were clever, more clever than we thought. Keep scanning. I want to know everything about this place." As Ethan's team accessed the station's logs, holographic images flickered to life. Faces of humans, long gone, appeared in stasis. They were officers, engineers, pilots. Their voices, recorded in old logs, told of a massive galactic war. They fought tirelessly against enemies from all sides, using strategy, skill, and technology far beyond what anyone expected. "The humans weren't extinct," Ethan said softly. "They didn't just vanish, they survived somewhere." Kate stared at the holograms, wide-eyed. "If they survived, why hasn't anyone returned? Why is this sector empty?" Jason's fingers moved across the console. "Maybe they're hiding, or maybe they don't want to be found." Zarek, observing remotely through long-range scanners, noticed the same flickers of activity in the human station. Small energy bursts, momentary pulses from ship systems, seemed to awaken briefly and then die down. Something about it was unsettling. "Commander, these ships," Lyra's voice trembled slightly. "They are not dead, not entirely. Something is watching." Zarek leaned back. "Prepare to engage observation drones. We will see what they are capable of, but stay alert." "The humans may not be what we expected." Suddenly, a loud alert echoed across the ardent horizon. "Captain, energy spikes detected. Weapon systems are coming online," Liam shouted. Ethan's eyes widened. "Everyone battle stations. We don't know what's happening, but be ready." From hidden compartments in the station, long-dormant automated defense systems began to hum. Energy shields flickered briefly. Small drones lifted from docking bays, scanning the void. The humans who had left these systems behind had prepared for this moment. "Captain, these systems are incredible," Jason said. "They're old, but still fully functional. They can detect movement, power up quickly, and even defend themselves autonomously." Ethan nodded, his jaw tight. "This is why no one returned." It wasn't the humans who disappeared, it was the weapons they left behind. They are smart, and they are deadly. The Virelians, now closer, saw the same signs. Their scanning drones were suddenly disabled, one by one. Energy pulses knocked out sensors. Small human defense ships, previously hidden, glided silently out of the station and into the darkness, almost like ghosts. "Commander," Lyra shouted, "they're not extinct, they are here, and they are awake." Zarek's eyes glowed with a mixture of excitement and fear. "So this is why no one returns? Humans are not weak, humans survive, and humans defend their space fiercely." As the ardent horizon and the Virelian fleet hovered in the void, both sides realized the same thing. Human space was not empty. It had never been empty. And the humans who controlled it were not ordinary. They were something else entirely. Ethan looked out at the stars, feeling a strange mixture of awe and responsibility. "If they're still out there, we have to be careful, but we have to learn. This is our chance to understand what humans are truly capable of." And somewhere in the darkness, the hidden human fleet stirred, ready for whatever was about to come. The silence of space was broken, just slightly, by the hum of ancient engines coming to life. The Virelian fleet drifted silently in the void, surrounding the derelict human station. Commander Zarek watched the screens carefully. Every scan, every pulse told him one thing: humans were far more dangerous than anyone had imagined. "They are hiding something," Lyra said, her voice tight. "These ships, these systems, they are not dead. They are waiting." Zarek's claws tapped the console. "We need to see how far this goes. Send forward the observation drones. Carefully. Do not alert them yet." Meanwhile, on the ardent horizon, Ethan Blake's team worked quickly. The station's logs had revealed fragments of the human fleet's history. Battles fought across galaxies, victories won against overwhelming odds, and fleets designed not just to fight, but to survive indefinitely. "This is incredible," Jason said, running his hands over the holographic interface. "These ships were designed to repair themselves, to fight without humans at the controls, and they can predict enemy movement using old battle data." Ethan nodded. "That explains why no one ever returned. It wasn't that the humans were destroyed. Their fleets were left alone, hidden, waiting, and anyone who entered without knowing would be destroyed." Kate Miller frowned. Captain, that could be us. We entered this sector. And if these systems see us as a threat, Ethan turned to her, calm but firm. We need to stay cautious, but curiosity is what got us here. Let's learn what we can without provoking them. Outside the station, strange movements stirred. Long-dormant drones floated out of hidden docking bays, their sleek designs glinting in the faint light of distant stars. The AI systems of the station hummed, scanning the ardent horizon and the Virelian fleet in the distance. The Virelians were the first to notice. "Commander," Lyra whispered, her voice tense. "The drones are moving, they are alive, some kind of automated fleet, and they are large, much larger than we expected." Zarek's eyes widened. "Stand down all non-essential systems, do not provoke them, observe only. I want to see what humans have built." From within the station, a faint pulse of energy spread across the sector. Sensors aboard the Virelian ships flickered and failed for a moment. Several small scout drones were suddenly disabled, their systems fried by an unknown source. "They are aware of us," Lyra said, voice low, "but it is not hostility, it is assessment." Ethan and his team were too focused to notice the distant Virelians. They were accessing the station's battle archives, ancient holograms showing humans in space combat, controlling massive fleets with precise coordination. "Look at this," Jason said, pointing to a hollow projection of an ancient human battleship. Even after centuries, these ships are still functional. Their hulls can repair themselves. Their weapon systems are automated, and their tactics, they are brilliant. Every ship knows exactly what to do without direct orders. Kate stepped closer. "That's amazing." "But why leave this sector empty? Why hide?" Ethan's expression was thoughtful. "Because humans survive, they always do. They only reveal themselves when they choose to. Anyone entering this space without permission would not survive. That's why no one returned." Suddenly, a faint light flashed across the viewport. Liam, the pilot, frowned. "Captain, something is moving outside. Small ships, cloaked, maybe?" Ethan moved to the controls. "Let's get a closer look. Keep sensors active. Do not fire unless fired upon." The hidden human fleet moved silently. Small ships emerged from the shadows of asteroids and station debris, their engines almost invisible. They surrounded the ardent horizon, scanning and assessing. Jason's eyes widened. "These ships, they are ancient but still alive. Fully operational, and they are watching us." From the distant edge of the sector, the Virelians realized the same thing. Their sensors picked up dozens of automated vessels, suddenly moving with perfect coordination. They were small but fast, armed, and capable of independent action. "Commander," Lyra said urgently, "they are not extinct. They are here and they are ready." Zarek's claws tapped the console nervously. "Maintain position, observe only. We do not know what triggers their defense. We cannot risk full engagement." Ethan watched the human ships, his mind racing. These were relics of an older time, yet they were fully functional. Their sensors were perfect. Their weapons were automated and deadly. And the AI running them was advanced beyond anything he had imagined. "They must have been hiding for decades," Ethan said quietly, "waiting for a reason to awaken, and now we are the reason." Kate's eyes widened. "Do you think they'll attack us?" Ethan shook his head. "I don't think they want to attack, not yet. They are assessing, learning. They only defend, not provoke. That's why the sector appeared empty. They survive by being invisible until needed." Outside, the Virelians attempted to send communication signals. Their messages bounced back, blocked by a strange energy field surrounding the sector. "They are shielding themselves," Lyra said. "Commander, I suggest we retreat. This is not a normal fleet. They are advanced, hidden, and dangerous." Zarek shook his head. "We cannot retreat without knowing. Send a small probe carefully. Let's see what triggers their response." The probe moved slowly, its sensors active. But as it crossed into the human fleet's assessment zone, it was instantly disabled. No explosion, no warning, just gone. The Virelians stared at the readouts, stunned. "They can disable us without firing a shot," Lyra whispered. "Commander, they are far beyond our understanding." Back aboard the ardent horizon, Ethan watched the human drones in action. They moved almost like living creatures, scanning, calculating, anticipating. Every approach, every vector, every movement was analyzed. The drones moved around the ardent horizon carefully, not attacking, but fully aware. "They are testing us," Jason said. "Seeing what we can do, seeing how we react. This is why humans never returned. They survive by making sure no one threatens them." Suddenly, a hidden console on the station flickered to life. A hologram of a human officer appeared, speaking in a calm but commanding tone. Warning, unauthorized vessels detected. This sector is protected. All ships will be assessed. Hostile actions will be neutralized. Ethan's heart raced. Everyone stay calm, we're being assessed. No sudden moves, we show restraint and we survive. Outside, the human fleet's larger vessels stirred. Ancient battleships, hidden for decades, powered their engines slowly. Energy fields activated briefly, scanning every inch of the sector. The ardent horizon's sensors detected the pulse of power. Kate whispered, "Captain, they are massive. Some are larger than our ship by 10 times, and they are ancient. How are they still functional?" Ethan clenched his jaw. Humans build to last, they think ahead, and they survive by being patient. This is the lesson of this sector. We are seeing why no one ever came back. From the Viorlian fleet, Zarek realized the same truth. His entire species had underestimated humans. The stories were wrong. The humans were not extinct. They were not weak. They were clever, patient, and lethal. "They are not extinct," Zarek muttered. "They never were. They hide, they survive, and they wait for the right moment." The ardent horizon carefully retreated a few kilometers, giving the human drones room to observe. The drones mirrored the movement, keeping the humans under assessment without aggression. "They are studying us," Ethan said. "They are trying to understand our intentions, and if we react badly, we will be destroyed." Jason looked at the holographic projections again. Even their AI is advanced. It predicts movement, calculates outcomes, and coordinates multiple ships without human input. These fleets, they were designed to survive anything. Kate nodded slowly. "I understand now. That's why the sector was empty. Humans never left. They just waited. They protected themselves. Anyone who came without knowing would never return." Suddenly, a distant alarm echoed across the ardent horizon. Liam shouted, "Captain, long-range sensors detect alien scouts approaching the sector, the Viorlians. They're coming in without caution." Ethan's face tightened. "We're in the middle of this. If the Viorlians engage, the humans will respond. We have to get to safety and communicate. But first, we need to show that we are not a threat." Outside, the hidden human fleet began subtle maneuvers. Their larger ships powered engines silently, while drones moved in patterns that covered every angle. They were ready. They were patient, and they were deadly. Zarek watched as his fleet approached the edge of the sector. "Keep scanning, observe only. We are about to find out why no one ever returned." Ethan stood on the bridge, watching the ancient ships. He felt awe, fear, and respect all at once. "This is incredible," he whispered. "Humans survived. They survived because they planned, because they were clever, and because they never underestimated the universe. We are seeing it now, and we are lucky to be alive." The stars outside glimmered quietly, hiding the truth of human space. A place of survival, patience, and deadly precision. And for the first time, the Viorlians understood why no one had ever returned. The hidden human fleet stirred quietly in the darkness. Ancient ships, cloaked for decades, slowly powered their engines, sending subtle energy pulses through space. Their sensors scanned the sector, not aggressively, but with perfect awareness. Every movement, every ship, every signal was analyzed. Captain Ethan Blake and his crew watched in awe from the ardent horizon. Even at a safe distance, the fleet's presence was overwhelming. Some ships were massive, with hulls that seemed indestructible. Others were smaller, sleek, and agile, moving like shadows through the stars. "Captain," Lieutenant Kate Miller whispered, "these ships, they are incredible. I've never seen anything like this." Jason Cole, the engineer, tapped the console. "Not just incredible, they are precise. They can repair themselves, they can fight autonomously, and they can coordinate without anyone giving orders. These humans, they were not just surviving, they were preparing for something." Ethan nodded. "That explains everything, why the sector appeared empty. Humans never left, they hid, they survived, and they waited." From the edge of the sector, the Viorlian fleet watched with growing fear. Commander Zarek's eyes moved across the display, scanning the ancient ships slowly emerging from their hiding. "They are awake," Lyra said quietly. "All of them, hundreds, maybe thousands, and they are assessing us. We are in danger, Commander." Zarek leaned forward. "Stand down, observation only, do not engage. We must understand their power before any action." Inside the ardent horizon, Ethan's crew began to realize just how advanced the humans' hidden fleets were. Holographic projections from the station showed centuries of battle history. Human fleets had fought enemies far larger than themselves, survived impossible odds, and designed fleets that could operate without constant human oversight. These ships, Jason said, even the old ones, they can act independently. They predict enemy movements, defend themselves, and repair damage automatically. They are almost alive. Kate Miller frowned. Captain, if they are so advanced, why didn't anyone come back? Why leave the sector empty? Ethan's face was serious. Because humans only respond when necessary. They survive by hiding. They do not attack first. Anyone entering their space without understanding would not survive. That's why no one returned. Suddenly, sensors on the ardent horizon picked up movement. Small vessels, cloaked until now, glided silently from behind asteroid fields and wrecked stations. They surrounded the ship in a protective formation, scanning but not attacking. They are testing us, Jason said. Every move we make, they know about it. And they are deciding how dangerous we are. At the same time, the Virelian scouts had crossed into human territory. Long-range sensors flickered as ancient human fleets powered up. Dozens of relic battleships emerged from hidden warp corridors. Some of the ships were enormous, dwarfed by the Virelian vessels. Others were smaller but faster, moving in perfect coordination. They are not extinct, Zarek whispered. They never were, they hide and they wait. Ethan watched as one of the larger human ships slowly activated its energy shields. The hum of power resonated across the sector. Smaller drones adjusted their positions, scanning both the ardent horizon and the distant Virelian fleet. They are learning about us, Ethan said quietly, and if we move wrong, they could destroy everything here. Kate's voice was tense. How do we communicate? How do we show them we are not a threat? Ethan thought carefully. We observe, we stay calm, we do not fire. Let them assess, that is the only way. The human fleet continued its silent observation. Automated systems hummed and long dormant weapons rotated into ready positions. Ancient AI controlled the movements, analyzing each ship in real time. Even without active human pilots, the fleet was coordinated and efficient. Jason stared at the console. It's like they built these ships to survive anything, and they did. Even after centuries, they are ready to defend. Outside the sector, the Virelians debated their next move. Some ships wanted to retreat, others wanted to send a warning, but none of them truly understood the scale of human power. Lyra turned to Zarek. Commander, if we provoke them, we will not survive. These ships, they are far more advanced than our best fleets. They could destroy us all. Zarek's eyes narrowed. We will observe, nothing more, but we must know why humans are so powerful. We cannot ignore this. The galaxy underestimated them for centuries. That ends today. Inside the ardent horizon, Ethan's team accessed the human station's main control room. Holographic data filled the room, showing fleets moving through space, engaging enemies, repairing themselves, and defending human territory. These ships, they are relics, Jason said. Old designs, but still fully functional. Some are ancient from centuries ago, and yet they are ready. They can fight, repair, and coordinate better than anything we've ever seen. Kate shook her head. I don't understand. How did humans survive? How did they keep these fleets hidden for so long? Ethan's eyes were serious. Humans survive because they plan, they think ahead, they hide when necessary, and they only reveal themselves when they must. That is why no one returned. This sector is protected. And the humans are patient, very patient. Suddenly, one of the smaller human ships shifted its position. Its energy signature was minimal, almost invisible. It approached the ardent horizon, stopping just out of firing range. The ship's sensors scanned the humans, but it did not attack. They are testing us again, Jason said. Trying to understand our reactions. That is why the Virelians were disabled too. These ships are smart, almost alive. Kate whispered, Captain, if the Virelians attack, what happens? We are caught in the middle. Ethan looked out at the silent fleet. Then we survive by being careful, by respecting the human space. They do not attack without reason, but they will defend their territory. That is the lesson we are learning. The Virelians watched in disbelief as more human ships powered up. Some activated energy shields. Others deployed small drones that moved with perfect coordination. Even the relic ships, designed centuries ago, acted like living fleets. They are more than we imagined, Zarek muttered. Every story we heard about humans, it was wrong. They are not extinct. They are not weak. They are powerful, patient, dangerous. Inside the ardent horizon, Ethan's team realized the full scale of what they were witnessing. Ancient fleets hidden for decades, fully functional and controlled by advanced AI. Humans had survived wars that no one else could. They had prepared for invasions, for spies, for intruders. They are incredible, Kate said softly. And we are seeing it now. Jason nodded. Even without human pilots, these ships could destroy entire fleets. They predict movement, defend themselves, and repair damage. This is why no one ever returned. Suddenly, a distant signal flashed across the ardent horizon's sensors. It was faint, almost impossible to detect. But it was clear the humans were trying to communicate. Ethan leaned forward. "Open it, carefully." A holographic image appeared in the center of the control room. A human officer wearing an ancient uniform spoke calmly. "Unauthorized vessels detected. This sector is protected. We are monitoring all activity. Any hostile action will be met with full response. If you are peaceful, you may leave safely. If not, survival is unlikely." Ethan nodded slowly. "We are peaceful. We come to observe, not attack." The hologram paused, then disappeared. Outside, the hidden human fleet adjusted its positions, scanning and assessing. They were ready for war, but they were not attacking. Their patience was perfect. Jason exhaled. That is why the sector appeared empty. Humans never left. They just waited, and anyone who entered without understanding would not survive. Kate looked out at the massive fleet. "They are amazing, and we are lucky to be alive." Ethan nodded. "This is just the beginning. We have learned the first lesson of human space: respect. Patience, survival. Humans are clever, and we are seeing it firsthand." From the distant edge of the sector, the Viorlians watched silently. Their fleet, once confident, now understood the truth. Humans were not to be underestimated. They were patient, clever, and deadly. Zarek leaned back, his eyes scanning the fleet. "This is why no one returned," he said quietly. "Not because humans were destroyed, because humans survived, and they are waiting." The stars outside were quiet again, but the hidden human fleet was awake. Ancient ships, automated fleets, relics of a time long gone. They waited. They observed. And they were ready. Ethan Blake and his crew of the Ardent Horizon looked on in awe, understanding finally the power humans had hidden for centuries. The galaxy had underestimated humanity. And now the truth was visible. Humans were alive. Humans were prepared. Humans were unstoppable. And for the first time, the Viorlians and the humans, uninvited visitors, understood the real danger of human space. The stars were silent. The hidden human fleet waited, cloaked and patient. Commander Zarek's Viorlian fleet hovered at the edge of the sector. Every scan, every sensor warned them humans were no ordinary race. They were alive, awake, and prepared. Ethan Blake stood on the bridge of the Ardent Horizon, heart pounding. His crew watched the ancient human ships move in subtle patterns, almost like a living organism. The AI systems, relics of centuries-old designs, calculated every angle, every movement, every potential threat. "They are ready," Kate Miller whispered. "If the Viorlians make a mistake, we won't survive." Ethan nodded. "Our only hope is to show restraint and communicate. Let's make sure they see that we are not a threat." The Viorlians were unaware of the full extent of the human fleet. Zarek's eyes scanned the holographic displays, showing rows of massive battleships emerging from hiding, engines humming softly, energy shields shimmering faintly. Smaller drones formed perfect formations, ready to intercept any hostile movement. "They are not extinct," Zarek murmured. "They hide, they survive, and they are beyond anything we expected." Suddenly, the Viorlians' forward scouts moved too close. One small drone drifted into a corridor of debris where a hidden human defense ship waited. In an instant, an energy pulse disabled the drone. No explosion, no sound, just gone. The Viorlians realized with horror that their sensors and weapons could be neutralized without warning. "They can destroy us without firing a shot," Lyra whispered. "Commander, we should retreat." Zarek's claws tapped the console. "Observation only, stay calm, retreating now would signal weakness." At that moment, the human fleet shifted. The larger battleships powered engines fully, and their energy shields glowed brightly. Hundreds of drones and automated fighters deployed from hidden bays, surrounding the sector like a net. Ethan's team realized the fleet was not attacking, they were containing. They were controlling space itself, ensuring that no ship, alien or human, moved without being observed. Jason Cole said quietly, "This is why the sector appeared empty. They protect themselves and they wait. Anyone who enters without permission doesn't survive." Kate Miller nodded. They are not aggressive, but they will defend themselves. We are lucky to be alive. Zarek's fleet moved cautiously. He tried communication, sending peaceful signals. All were blocked instantly. Human defense ships silently glided to new positions, ensuring the Violians could not breach the sector. "They are showing us why no one returned," Lyra said. "They are preparing to defend their space without attacking first, and they are ready for anything." Ethan looked at the massive human ships. "Captain," Jason said, "these are relics, but they are alive. They can fight, repair, and coordinate." "They are more advanced than anything we have ever built." Ethan nodded slowly. "Humans survive because they plan, they think ahead, they hide, and they defend. That is why the galaxy underestimated them for centuries." Suddenly, the Violians tried a small strike, sending one scout ship closer. In an instant, drones swarmed around it. Automated energy pulses disabled it without destruction. The Violians recoiled, realizing that even minor aggression would be instantly punished. "Commander," Lyra said urgently, "this is a trap. Any attack would be fatal." Zarek leaned back. "We understand now. Humans are patient, they survive, and they wait for the right moment to act. That moment is now, and we are lucky they are only testing us." On the ardent horizon, Ethan's crew felt the presence of the hidden fleet fully for the first time. Ancient warships moved with perfect coordination. Drones scanned every movement, and energy shields pulsed faintly across the sector. Humans had prepared for centuries, anticipating intruders. "They are incredible," Kate said softly. "Even without pilots, these fleets can defend themselves perfectly, and the AI, it predicts everything." Jason shivered. "They are unstoppable. That is why no one returned." Ethan said quietly, "We are witnessing human ingenuity and survival firsthand. This is the first time outsiders have seen this power." Suddenly, the human's warning system activated. Holographic images appeared across the sector. Ancient human officers spoke in calm, commanding voices. "Unauthorized vessels detected. All activity is being monitored. Any hostile action will be neutralized. Peaceful vessels may leave safely. Survival depends on caution." Ethan nodded. "We are peaceful. We are observers. We do not intend to provoke." The holograms faded. Outside, the human fleet adjusted positions, surrounding the sector with perfect precision. The drones, smaller ships, and massive battleships all moved in synchronization, showing the full might of hidden humanity. The Violians realized with horror, any misstep could cost them everything. The ancient human fleet was fully capable of defeating them without human pilots actively controlling every vessel. The relics, combined with automated drones and predictive AI, made the humans untouchable. Zarek finally spoke aloud. This is why no one returned. It was not the humans who were gone. It was the fleets they left behind. They protect their space. They survive. And they wait." Ethan's team, now fully understanding, looked out at the fleet. The hidden human ships glimmered faintly in the void, ready for battle if necessary, but showing restraint. "They are alive," Jason said softly, "and they are beyond anything anyone imagined." Kate Miller nodded, "And we are lucky to witness it. We are lucky they see we are peaceful." The Violians slowly retreated, realizing the power of human space. They had underestimated humans for centuries. They would not make that mistake again. Zarek leaned back, his eyes scanning the sector. "The galaxy has been warned. Humans are patient, clever, and deadly, and they survive. That is the truth of this space." Ethan and his crew returned to Earth with a new understanding. They had seen the hidden fleets, the relic ships, and the deadly precision of human defense. Humanity had survived impossible wars and prepared for centuries to defend itself. "They underestimated us," Ethan said quietly to his crew. "The galaxy thought humans were weak, unimportant. They were wrong, and now the truth is known." Kate Miller smiled faintly. "We are alive, and we learned the first rule of human space: respect it or pay the price." Jason nodded. "And they will survive anything." "That is the lesson. That is why no one ever returned from this sector. Humans endure. Humans are clever, and humans fight to survive." In the darkness, the hidden human fleet remained cloaked. Ancient ships, relics from centuries past, hummed softly with power. Automated drones moved silently, energy shields flickered faintly, and the AI systems calculated every possible threat. They waited, they watched, and they were ready. The galaxy had underestimated humans for centuries. That mistake would never happen again. Humans were alive. Humans were hidden. Humans were unstoppable, and anyone who entered their space uninvited would understand that truth, whether they survived to tell it or not. Ethan Blake and his crew looked at the stars with awe and respect. Humanity's legacy was alive and powerful. And the galaxy would never forget the lesson of human space. The stars remained silent, but the hidden fleets whispered a warning to anyone who dared enter, respect human space, or face the consequences. They entered human space and discovered why no one returned.